Yo, family, what's up, man? Uh, heavy heart tonight. I'm in New York, a little big town. We're playing Jimmy Fallon tomorrow night, and then we're doing the View this week, and headed back to Nashville, man. But just want to come and be transparent this evening. Probably the worst few days of my life. My family going through through a trial, you know, and I've been seeing a bunch of news updates about, you know, this new research that was done that was talking about football players who started before the age of 12 growing up and experiencing depression at a higher rate than normal people who didn't engage in like youth sports. And I'm not one to just ignore science, but what I do feel like is I have a responsibility to kind of stand in the gap and you know, share my testimony because number one, I feel like God allowed me to play the game from a very young age, well before 12, and He used it as a breeding ground to build me up to deal with certain things like I'm going through right now. My wife and I were expecting our fourth child in like 6 years, and we miscarried a few days ago. And I know I look really tired, but my eyes are burning, many tears, you know. She's at home. I left her today, and that hurts and it's tough. She's home with the babies, and we're getting through it, and we're gonna be all right. But I wanted to share that, man, because I felt like it's, you know, when you go through controversy, we tend to get really analytical, and I'm just looking at, you know, so many thoughts going through my heart and my mind, trying to figure out how to deal with it, and like asking God, why us, you know, and man, I promise you, there are specific things that I learned from playing football, from playing the game, that I'm applying right now. Number one, man, because like I was so into sports and I love football, and I made a ton of decisions as far as like what schools I was going to go to growing up, and I would have never even came to Nashville if it wasn't for trying to play football. And now, you know, I literally live a dream. But my point is, you know, I learned how to be physically and emotionally fit through a trial from playing the game. Growing up, because I was so passionate about it, man, you know, things didn't go my way. And what I had to learn, which I feel like is my biggest thing that I really appreciate about playing football, is when you're passionate about something and you work as hard as you can, and then you just hit a brick wall and it just doesn't happen. Like, how do you respond? Like, are you fit? Not physically fit, but are you spiritually, are you mentally fit to deal with it? Like, do you know what it feels like to, you know, to just fail, rock bottom? You know, to be at a place where you feel like you're at the end of yourself and you can't go anymore. And for me, I experienced that with football because I put so much into it, and then, you know, I felt like because I didn't go to the NFL or whatever, or certain things happened, didn't go my way, like I was a failure. But I had to really, number one, it helped me with my relationship with God, because I learned how to view myself as He sees me, and, you know, not have like an identity of what I do. But through the game, He taught me and He built my relationship with Him. So now I'm a grown 34-year-old man, and my wife and I are going through a tragic thing, and it's really difficult, and I don't completely understand it all, but I know like I've been here before. And I feel like, yeah, if you focus your whole life and you just, it's a ton of college football players. I got family members that, all my cousins, a lot of college football players in my family, a lot of guys, or a lot of people in general, you play recreational sports, then, you might go to high school, college, or whatever. And if you don't transfer those skills, that was just the biggest waste of time ever. And yeah, there's physical risk. You got the CTE thing, and that's a viable thing. But my thing is like I want to be on the side of speaking truth and being transparent about the amazing things that happen. So if you're not transferring, like running the 40-yard dash and your bench press and all the things that you sacrifice for while you play sports to your real life, yeah, you're gonna experience some depression. No one is exempt. Man, I got a cousin. He made it to college, played a little college football. He didn't finish. One day I was asking him, I was like, bro, do you look forward to anything like you look forward to the game when you played? And he's 30 years old, and he was like, dude, no. And I feel like that's the tragedy, that's the tragedy. So it's not that we need to stop playing. We just need to start transferring the skill. Because why spend all those years, why spend all of that time investing and sacrificing in something when, yeah, it's going to come a time when the game is over, and it's not worth your health if you're not going to transfer those skills. For me, I just want to share, man, that like, dude, my whole career is just a residual effect of my principles that I learned from football, man. Like, I didn't even play music with other people until I was 21 years old. Like I played with my family, I didn't like play drums with like friends that played bass and play in bands and stuff like that. I was focused on sports, I was always playing drums, but when I got done playing football, I had so much in the bank. I had so much sweat equity and just like principles, like being disciplined, being consistent. And another huge one, especially right now, is like learning how to compartmentalize. And what I mean by that is like, I feel like the difference between good and great people who execute, phenomenal people who execute, is like who can focus on the right things at the right time. Like for me right now, my wife is at home. We lost a baby. Like we're both hurting, man. Like we just at the airport today, just like crying, holding each other, and it's really tough. And I gotta come up here and do my job and play on national television tomorrow and again the next day. And I learned from the game, man, that like forget the last play. It's all about the play you're in. What play do you have now? Because if you're still breathing, you got another chance to keep going. And when we fall on hard times and hardships, man, learn what we got to learn and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Not to minimize what we're going through, and I'm definitely going to grieve and let that thing take its place. But my wife and we're going to come up, and I'm going to be a leader in my household. And I'm not saying that I learned it just from football. My father's a great man. Like, my parents are amazing. Like, my family is amazing. And I know how to fight through adversity. I'm just saying that playing the game, and my son is 5 and he plays. And I'm just saying that playing the game, man, is breeding grounds, and it's bigger than just, I mean, yeah, if you're just out there letting your kid play because you think they're going to be the next millionaire, like, stop. That's not what it's about, man. But, man, I've learned how to fight through adversity. I've learned how to compartmentalize and focus on the important things. I've learned perspective. I've learned what's really important to me. It's the greatest team sport, man. And, y'all, I moved to Nashville to play football. I didn't even know it was Music City, and now I've built a career. And I love my job. I play for one of the top country artists in the history of country music because I was in Nashville. applying the principles that I learned playing the game, man. So, you know, I'm not saying everyone should play football and this is the only way to learn certain things, but I had to give it some pushback, man, because I've been majorly blessed, and I knew when I was playing the game that it was breeding grounds for what I was going to have to face in my life and what my responsibility is here on earth. So, man, I love the game. I think it's a great thing. So I would just encourage you to, or any of my people on here, my family members that have played sports, and like learn how to transfer those skills though to the rest of your life, or else it is a waste of time and it's a sacrifice that didn't need to be had. So love y'all.